What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unfair Sports. It's your boy Coop here, and today I'm pretty excited because I have with me a very big man and a growing. I'm going to say this: a growing boy. It sounds condescending, but Deacon Schmitt, O Tackle 26 class out of Windsor, Colorado. Deacon, man, thanks for hopping in here with me. How's it going with you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Just got back from school about an hour ago. Had a little calc test, so I did pretty good on that. But yeah, everything's good.
Sounds pretty good. So I was looking here today, and I'm going to share this with everybody because this morning you were out there grinding, and I got to say this, man. There is a lot of people who are putting in work, and we can see it. But like this one, you were actually out there just balling out at 5 a.m. this morning. So
Yep.
is this a process that you do every single day? Is this something that you've just been doing here recently? Because I mean, I kind of know the answer.
Yeah. So that's those clips are from Matt McChesney's gym. It's called 60 Academy. It's down in Parker, Colorado, so it's a little bit south of Denver. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes from my house, and we start at 5 a.m. I usually go like 2 to 3 times a week. I've been going to Matt for probably almost a year and a half now. Love the guy. He's awesome. He's a great dude, and we get after it at his spot. But yeah, I mean, 2 to 3 times a week, and then we just go, we ball out, and we get after it.
When you're doing these things, I mean, you got to be there at 5 a.m. So I'm guessing you're
Yeah,
waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
Are you actually able to actually get some breakfast in you before you go and do these drills? Because it looks like you're kind of grinding, and I would be afraid of giving it back.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not a big breakfast guy personally, in general, but when we wake up at about 3:15, leave the house 3:30. So I never really have breakfast. I mean, sometimes a little granola bar or something like that, but my mom drives me down. So I try to sleep on the way there, and then when I'm in there, she sleeps, and then she drives me back. But yeah, my mom's a stud, so we wake up early, and I don't usually eat before, but I mean, if I absolutely have to, I can, but usually no.
So do you guys actually have defenders coming in there, or is it just other bodies? You guys just work against each other. How does that go?
Yeah, so it's there's kids from all over the place. So I would like it's the best kids in Colorado usually that go to Matt's spot, and he also has like some distance program stuff. So there's a guy JT, he's from Texas. He'll come down and train for a while, and then I'm not sure if you know Breck. You probably know Breck College
College
from
join? Yeah.
yeah, IMG. So he's originally from Colorado, so he trains with Matt, and so he'll come down and we'll get after it. Me and him get after it pretty big. So there's guys from all over, but it's mostly Colorado boys and mostly defense and offensive linemen.
Well, that's that. I mean, as I watch these, I mean, you've been doing these videos, posting them up on your Twitter profile. So if you don't follow Deacon, go in there and get him a little follow. But
Yeah,
you've been posting these. I mean, this is when I did a film review, last fall. I mean, these were some of the stuff that I took here, as well as some of your other films. So I mean,
yeah.
this is good work. Do you
Yeah.
think that? Do you think that when you're putting these stuff out here, like your potential future position coach, I mean, they like this type of stuff. Do you guys ever bring that up when you're out there, visiting and talking with OL coaches?
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, I talk to all the coaches about it, and I think they like the sacrifice, because we're waking up
Yeah,
early, getting after it at 5 in the morning. So I think that's a big part. And then Matt, he's one of those guys that he'll prepare you. Like if you're not mentally prepared, like you're gonna struggle in Matt's place. So I mean, it's just I think they enjoy that I go there because they see that I'm sacrificing as well as getting that mental side ready to go.
100%. So again, if you're just joining us, I got Deacon Schmitt, and Deacon, you're 2026 offensive tackle. You've seen some growth here over the past couple of months, right? Because I want to say that when I first pulled up your huddle, I think you had like 280, 6'4". Now it shows 6'5", 320. Where are you
Yeah,
measuring out right
yeah. I'm about 6'5", 320. 6'5", 6'6".
Okay.
It's
Yeah. And
yeah.
what weights do you really want to be at for this season? Do you have a goal? Do you and the coaches set up something here for your senior year?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I played last season at about 310, 315. So this season, I'm just gonna stick with 320. I feel good right now. I feel mobile. My knees aren't hurting too bad. So yeah, I feel good at this weight. I feel fast, and I'll probably just stick with 320.
Definitely. So let's talk about some of the strengths, weaknesses, things like that. I mean, obviously you don't have any weaknesses because you're Deacon Schmitt, right?
Yeah.
But what are some things about your game right now that you feel super comfortable? Maybe one or two aspects of your game that you feel really comfortable with, and what are the other maybe sides of the game that you're really willing to kind of dial down and get better with?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest piece that kind of sticks out on my film is just my nastiness. I love football. It's the best sport on earth, and when I can go out there and I flip the switch, I pride myself on being a really friendly, nice guy off the field. But when you're on the field, you got to turn it on. So I think my biggest thing is just like my nastiness. I try to finish every block, finish to the whistle, that whole thing. And then, some things I need to work on is just, all the little things. There's not one player is perfect. Everyone's got something to work on. So I mean, all the little things, all the, control the controllables, I always say. So just,
Yeah, 100%.
working on the little things and trying to be the best player I can be.
So your junior year, showing some of the highlights right here. You talk about the nasty, 100%. That's one of the things that I see a lot of. Do you have a preferred? I don't know. If you're talking to a defensive end, I always ask like which one feels better, like putting the tackle on his back or getting the quarterback. For you, do, what's your favorite part about playing the offensive tackle position? Is it a pancake? Is it opening up a gaping hole for the running back or the quarterback to squirt through? Like what really gets you jazzed? You look up and you're like, heck yeah, I knocked that one out of the park.
I mean, obviously, getting a pancake, that's about as good as it gets. But if you get a pancake and then you look up and the running back's going and they got nothing but green, I mean, that's always a better feeling. So just, those pancakes though, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, 100%. You play up in Colorado. Colorado just normally Colorado State, the Buffaloes, things around that haven't had a lot of excitement. Do you feel excitement for football in Colorado really amping up right now just because of what, Coach Prime's been doing out of Colorado? I mean, how does that go? Because I lived there for a little bit. I lived in
Yeah.
Arvada, and some people don't get excited about much in Colorado. So, when you get a chance to get something excited about, I know that, the University of Colorado typically does have a very, very passionate following. So,
Yeah.
is it going well across, just throughout the whole state?
Yeah. I mean, it really picked up as soon as Coach Prime got there. Obviously, I mean, I think the Buffs were like 1-11 before Coach Prime
Mm-hmm.
got there. So, I mean, the games were they definitely weren't how they are now. There was
Yeah.
there was less fans, less hype around the program, that whole thing. And as soon as Coach Prime got there, it kind of brought some attention to the Buffs, and the fans are so loyal. I mean, there's plenty of fans that have been there through every season, but I can see it ramping up a whole lot now. Like if you go to a game in Boulder, like it's hard to find somewhere to park down there. Like it's crazy. The fans are loyal. And I mean, Colorado football has really just skyrocketed. So
Yeah, definitely. And then, obviously you're driving up north from Denver. You just kind of like, happen into Boulder. And so some of the excitement around it, you can tell once you've reached Boulder. That's 100% for sure.
no doubt.
Um, Two things, recruiting process. Like, I mean, this is a journey. We talked about it in the green room. This is your journey, but go back to kind of when you really first felt these things kind of amping up. Who was your first offer, and then what was your mindset around it once you finally like, you got some confidence in yourself, but once you see like that first offer come through, you're like, all right,
Yep.
now it's real. Like, how did that play out?
Yeah. So it was one of the best days of my life. I won't lie to you. It was CSU was my first offer, Colorado State.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was coming. I was just, I was just starting kind of working out with McChesney, that whole thing, just grinding, doing my thing. And I woke up one morning to a text. My offensive coordinator, he texted me and said, "Coach Best from CSU is coming in today." And so I was like, "Oh, okay." Kind of, it woke me up pretty fast. Honestly, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, here we go." But yeah, so I got that text and met with him first thing in the morning. CSU's like 20 minutes from my house, so first thing in the morning, and it was surreal. I mean, it was a fast conversation and felt like it took 30 seconds. He was like, "We're gonna go ahead and offer you," and I was like, "Whoa, okay." So it kind of got real that day, and then it just kind of picked up from there, and I couldn't be more grateful, couldn't be more blessed.
How many total offers are you up to now?
I'm at 26.
26.
Yep.
What was the one that when it finally came in, you're like, oh God, like this went to a different level now.
Yeah. I would say that's a good question. I'd say probably the Oklahoma offer. Or actually, yeah, probably the Oklahoma or the Nebraska offer, because CSU is Mountain West, but then once we started getting Big Ten, SEC schools in there, I was like, okay, it's getting kind of real. But yeah, I mean, Nebraska or Oklahoma, both of those were pretty like wow, and then Bama as well too. That was a good one. But I'm grateful for all of them. But I mean, those were some of the ones
Yeah.
that were like, it's getting real.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, right when you see one of those pieces, because I mean, it's not like they're not like really, really tame envelopes, right? Like, I don't know if a lot of people know what these offer letters look like, but some of the stuff that comes in the mail
Yeah,
is, I mean, extravagant. It looks
yeah,
like a document that you would just like to have just
yeah,
because. And I know
yeah,
that, I've been at, commitment ceremonies where they've had boxes of everything out and, it just looks insane. But,
yeah.
those offers coming in, I mean, because my take on it is, I remember, so I played baseball, and so when I got my first offer, I didn't even know really what it meant. But
Yeah,
the process around baseball in 1996, 97, different than what it is
yeah,
today. So
yeah,
little fun, but you get these offers rolling in, and when these things start coming in, now it's like, okay, now I got a decision at some point I'm going to have to make.
hmm
What did that process look like for you as far as like did you make a list? Did you do like a pros and cons board or something like that? Like when you started kind of taking these offers into consideration, finding out where you're going to go play your college football at, what did that process look like for you?
yeah. So I mean, just basically just going with the flow, feeling everything out, there was a bunch of coaches that came in December that time or January. I don't remember when they were all coming, but you just gotta feel them out and see
Yeah.
if it's someone that you could spend time with. And every guy that I've talked to, there's not a single guy that I don't like. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of feeling it out. Kind of like you said, making a pros and cons list, that whole thing. I'm really close with my parents, so we talk about it all the time. Like I don't know where I'm gonna go, so I still haven't decided. I've narrowed it down, a little bit, but it's still pretty hard. It's gonna be one of the hardest decisions I'll ever have to make. So, we're still kind of in the process of that.
Hmm.
But really, it's just like feeling everything out and seeing what feels right, going to the different places, and because this is our first time doing it too, you know what I mean? So it's like we're just trying to go with the flow and see what feels right.
And now you've got schools 20 minutes away with Colorado State. You've got
hmm
schools like Oklahoma and Alabama, which are obviously a lot further away. Um, has distance ever played a factor in this, or is it just what's the best place for you?
I mean, distance isn't a huge thing. I'd say like um, my biggest thing is like just finding a fit for me. The distance thing, I mean, I get it's part of it, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you feel comfortable somewhere, the distance
Yeah,
doesn't really matter.
you'll find a way to make it work, right? As
Yeah,
long as you
yeah,
don't have to drive, as long as you don't have to drive I-70 like through Kansas, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure
No,
that
yeah,
that's we'll talk about it off screen. I used to, but when I used to live up there and go up there all the time, that's like one of the worst things is in the old Garmin days. You turn left on I-70 up in Kansas, and it's like continue for 300 plus miles. You're like, oh my gosh, like
Boring.
Never going to get there. Never going to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But so you got your schools, you got some, your 20 plus offers at this point. Then there's the NIL factor of it. When you started in, I guess freshman ball, stuff like that, the NIL game was just starting to become something, and now it's just a full fledged piece of that. How do you have those conversations with your family about, obviously, like, that's a factor, right? You want to get paid what your value is,
Hmm.
but how big does NIL go for you personally? Because I mean, some people it's different. Some people it's the driving factor. Some people it's part of the factor. But how does that work out for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, money's a very important thing in life, and the more money you have, the easier life is. So I'd be a fool to sit here and tell you that money doesn't matter because it does.
This is
But
play by.
yeah, but I mean, I've talked with my family a bunch about that. My mom, she's really good with numbers and all that. She's worked at same job for like 25 years, and she does like numbers for her company and all that. So she knows all kinds of stuff about that, so she's really good with that. But yeah, I mean, it's very important. Money's very important, so we'll have to take that into consideration as well.
Surprise question for you. Are you ready for this one? You
Yep.
didn't know this was coming. So all the brands in the world that you can go and purchase.
Hmm.
What's a brand that could come to Deacon Schmidt and be like, we want to partner with you on NIL? You had a pick of any brand across the country, across the world. What would you pick?
I mean, Nike would be an awesome one just because it's a huge name, but I love Lululemon. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lululemon.
Yeah,
Love Lululemon. I wear Lululemon every day. There's also a company called BYLT. It's I
yeah.
don't know what it stands for. You know what it is,
I
but
don't know what it stands for. Might have to
yeah,
look that up while you're
yeah.
while
But
you're.
you know what company I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I love their clothes. They got some clothes for the big fella. So I definitely appreciate that.
Oh, that's it. And I don't see what it's. I don't see what it means. But
I think it's I want to say it's
Bear,
like build your legacy
Bear.
today, something like that.
Yeah. So I see here. Yeah, it says possibles, but Bear Yuba Land Trust. I don't know if that. I don't know if I feel that, but you know what? You never know with some of the
Yeah.
names out there.
But
I mean,
I love them. I love Lululemon. Yeah, all those companies are good.
so the athletic wear,
Yeah.
and just the comfort. Listen, I got to say, I own one Lululemon piece of clothing, and it's a dress shirt.
There you
And
go.
my wife had me go buy it when we were down in the big mall in Dallas, and I'm not gonna lie, if I have to wear a button up, like that's the first one I go to. It's a
Yeah.
game changer, and it's like you go grab the Target shirt, and you're like, oh god, this is awful.
Yeah.
So if I ever show up Lululemon shirt, on, it's a special occasion.
Yeah, no
It's that
doubt.
it's that it's that one. Well, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
So tell me this. A lot of when people watch this, and again, if you're just tuning in, Deacon Schmidt, 26 offensive tackle out of Colorado. You got some of your visits lined up. We'll touch on that here in a second. But when it's not football time, when it's time for just Deacon to have some fun, get out there, hang out with your boys. What do you do for fun? What are the things that take when it's not football time?
Yeah, so I'm always out of the house. I don't like being at home very often. I'm always either with my family, my friends, my girlfriend, whoever. I'm always doing something out of the house. So just anything. I mean, I like shopping. Believe it or not, I don't know if you know what Shields is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a big Shields right by my house, about 20 minutes away. So if I'm ever bored, I just go to Shields or go do something like that. But I like to just get out of the house and do whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a question. As soon as that NIL check hits, you're going to have to like go to Shields with a different viewpoint. It's gonna
Yeah,
that might be a dangerous place for me
it
to be with
is. It
with
really
a big
is. You
pocket.
can spend a lot of time and money there for sure.
You definitely can. My
Yeah,
father-in-law went there the very first day it opened. We just got ours in Tulsa. I think I want to say in the fall.
yeah,
So we just got ours, and first day, father-in-law goes out there, comes back, and is like, I saw a crossbow I really, really, really want. And he's
yeah.
like, but it's really, really expensive. So yeah, Shields is. Shields is the place to go.
Mhm.
How about video games? Are you a video gamer at all? Do you guys ever get together and madden it up, or the NCAA or college football?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, not as much in recent months or whatever, just because I'm so busy with stuff. But
Yeah,
we'll get on the game every once in a while. We play a little NCAA once in a while, that whole thing. But 2K, love 2K.
love
Um,
2K.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But not a whole lot. But when we do, it gets competitive. It gets rowdy.
Like it, like it,
Yep.
like it. So fun stuff. We've heard a little bit about that. Now, I mean, go into these visits. You've got official visits set up. It looks like Bama on May 30th, Oklahoma on June 6th, Nebraska June 13th, and Tennessee June 20th.
Yep.
Do you have kind of a couple other visits set up in the works? Are you still working on a couple more?
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna be taking an OV to Colorado just because it's right up the road, super easy.
Yeah.
But then I think that should be it for OVs. We might get a couple more in there. We're not sure yet. We're still trying to work through
Yeah.
everything. We're going to USC this weekend. We're flying on Friday. Yeah, flying out on Friday, and then coming back Sunday. So that it's just a spring practice type deal, but it should be pretty fun.
Okay. Going to these visits. I mean, this is kind of the last thing that you're going. The family's going to be there. Get the final glimpse of the program, the final sales pitch there. What's the number one thing? Like, what's the number one thing that you're looking for in these schools to really just when you're kind of trying to find the one that's going to end up at the top? Like, what is that? What's the thing that's going to be the number one thing that you guys look at as a family?
I think it's just that gut feeling that you feel like you're at home. That whole thing, like
Mhm.
I try to fall in love with as many aspects of it as I can. The people, the atmosphere, the town, the coaches, that whole thing. But at the end of the day, it's just the homey feeling.
Mhm.
If you feel at home and you feel comfortable, you're gonna perform at your best. So that's kind of what I feel I look for when I'm there.
So when you're looking at Colorado State, places that you've obviously been around, quite a bit in a long time,
Hmm.
but now you're heading out to LA for USC, heading down to Knoxville, heading to Norman. Um, is there nervousness still like around these visits, just because you're not being recruited to come in and maybe someday end up on the field like most of a guy of your caliber, guys. I mean, there's expectations for you. So when you're showing up to these visits, like, hey, does that nervousness ever kind of come in play?
Um, I wouldn't say it's nervousness. I would say it's more excitement.
Hmm.
You're going to a place that you could quite possibly be, playing in front of 70 to 90,000 people on the weekends. So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
more of an excitement thing, I think, rather than nervous. Like, I mean, I still get nervous when it's like something new, but like for the places that I've been around, like I've been to Norman plenty of times. I've been to Lincoln, Nebraska. I've been to Colorado. So, I mean, I don't get nervous, but I get pretty excited when I'm there because I try to picture myself, being there, that kind of thing.
Definitely like it. Guys around you, do you have any other guys maybe on the team, guys that you're training with, at 5 a.m. in the morning? Do you have other guys that are going through the process that you guys share, kind of notes back and forth with, or guys that you've met along the trail?
Um, there's not very very many in Colorado. There's a couple. Breck obviously from
Yeah.
IMG. He's one that me and him get along pretty well, and we talk about it a little bit when he's down here. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of cats in Colorado that are lucky enough to experience what I'm experiencing. I
Yeah.
mean, it's very awesome. There's a few, but I'm not close with any of them a whole lot. There's a kid from Fort Collins, Mason Bandhauer. He's one of my buddies, but not very many from Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be hitting these visits, coaching staffs. You've got head coaches, you've got position coaches. When you're talking to the coaches, you said the home feeling just part of the whole program. But when you're talking to the coaches, are there aspects about the coaches that stick out to you a little bit more than others, or is there certain things that you're trying to just stay away from?
I wouldn't say there's anything I'm trying to stay away from because I know that every coach is different.
Yeah,
There's different coaching styles and that's just the way it is, you know. But honestly, I kind of look for coaches that kind of remind me of my high school coach now. Coach Jones, love the guy to pieces. He's very wise. He doesn't get super worked up. He's very wise and he's like a mentor. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I kind of look for that in a head coach just because that's what I'm used to. For example, Brent Venables. He reminds me a
yeah,
lot of Coach Jones. Yeah. He's level headed. He talks more about being a man than just being a good football player, and I think
yeah.
that's very important to me. Just like I said, that's Coach Jones, that's his whole thing. But I know every coach is different, so um I'm it's not that I'm avoiding anything, but I do feel out every single coach that I talk to and kind of get their vibe. You know what I mean?
100%. You're a hardworking guy, man, and I just don't have too many more questions here for us today. But the fun questions. It's time for the fun questions.
Oh
So
yeah.
we get a lot of guys ask this is, hey, you worked early in the morning, you go to school all day, you have some practice, you come home, you have one meal that mom could cook for you, just your go-to meal. What's that go-to meal?
My mom whips up the best tacos ever. We had tacos last night, and I think there might be leftovers. I might have to go snack some of that. But she whips up some crazy tacos, and it's funny you asked that. We just had that last night.
How many tacos are you pounding?
They're big, so I do three usually.
Hmm.
But she loads them up: avocado, tomato, onion, cheese, all of
Oh
it.
yeah, got to get the works. Got to
Oh
get the
yeah.
works. All right.
Uh-huh.
Everybody, when they're watching sports, just it's a man thing. Is go get yourself some wings. So, got to ask you: are you a wings guy? And if you are you bone in or chicken nugget, glorified chicken nugget?
Yeah, definitely bone in. The only time I'll get boneless is if I'm trying to be clean. I eat them with a fork, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting wings, I'm getting bone in. And there's this spot about 5 minutes from my house. It's called Wing Shack, and they have these garlic hot wings. I'm a sucker for garlic, but they're the best. I love them.
Now, are you a drum or a flat guy?
Oh, flat. Gotta have
Yeah.
flats. I do a little shot
Yeah.
where you push it down and then dip it in the ranch, and
Yeah.
it comes off the bone in one bite. It's something else. Those garlic hot wings,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
So garlic. I'm gonna have to check this out. This is that
it's
that kind
good
of has me
stuff.
excited. So you got Wing Shack's garlic hot wings. So you go to beat up somewhere else. Like, what's your go-to flavor when you go somewhere else?
Um, I kind of stick with the garlic trend. I like garlic parm. If I'm not trying to
Yeah.
get spicy, I'll get garlic parm. But I also like some of the like honey barbecue stuff. I really like that. I don't like super super spicy to like where it's like you can't enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like a little bit of spice. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling.
No, man. If I'm gonna try to be a man on a camping trip and eat a hot wing, I'll do that. But when it's time
Yeah,
to eat, like I want to eat. I want to enjoy my food. So,
yeah, no doubt.
um, you said you're not much of a breakfast guy, but do you have any pregame rituals like the day of the game? Anything that you like to eat? Something you feel comfortable with? You performed good after eating?
I don't have a specific thing. There's this place called Chili Thai. They have got good sesame chicken and fried rice,
Okay.
and that I try to eat something decent before a game. So I'll usually hit the Chili Thai train a little bit, but I just try to be somewhat healthy with what I'm eating before the games, just so I have some good energy. That whole thing.
100%, 100%. Well, man, I appreciate you, being here today. Man, I, just got to say, going back into the time, it's been a pleasure to be able to watch you work out and just really progress through this. So, I wish you luck. Wherever you end up. Obviously, I've got my own thoughts and things like that, but want to hope that you just continue this process and just, get every ounce of it out. And last question for you is, people don't often, while we do these interviews, people like to learn about the person, right? The player, but, learn about the person. So you commit to a university. Who is who is Deacon Schmitt, and who are they getting as a person?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you asked this because, I pride myself on being a nice, humble, kind person outside of football. Like, I know when I'm playing, I seem like I'm the meanest person alive, but I promise I'm not. I'm actually really nice, really friendly. If you just come talk to me, that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, just a nice, friendly. I'm a gentle giant off the field. So I mean, that's kind of what you're getting with me.
Love it, love it, love it. So again, guys, I appreciate you all for pulling up. And if you have not yet, hit the like, hit the subscribe, also that notification so you can get let known when we're doing more of these. We've got interviews starting out here. Deacon, you're kind of you're the first one for the season, so I appreciate you hopping in here and
Yeah, thank
just
you.
popping it up with me today.
Heck yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Well, definitely so. So again, guys, hit that like, subscribe, and we'll have more interviews coming up. But until then, it's Coop with Unfair Sports and Sooner or Later Podcast, and we appreciate you guys for pulling up. And until next time, peace.